This is how I get through the 3 o'clock lull. Okay, today we're going to be talking about how to create a $1 million pipeline flipping houses. So here's the thing. A lot of people, when it comes to flipping houses, they tend to spend a lot of time focusing on one aspect of the process, and then when they get through that process, they go to the next process and then the next process. And that's a fundamental flaw that I see with most people who flip houses. What I want to talk about here is really there's 4 areas of focus when it comes to flipping houses. The first one is finding, then managing, which would be the renovation part of it, marketing and selling the house obviously, and then raising capital. This one's kind of an independent one, but it's the 4th one. So these 4 areas are what we need to focus on, and if we can focus on these 4 areas simultaneously, then what happens is we keep our pipeline, I like to call it, we keep our pipeline full. Now, here's what's interesting. If you think about it, if you did 3 deals a month with an average of $28,000 net profit, that's $1 million a year flipping houses. That's just 3 deals a month. Now that's closing, making a net profit of approximately $28,000 will give you a $1 million pipeline. But what it means is you have to focus on these 4 areas simultaneously. In other words, you've got to have deals that you're continually finding, new deals you're finding, while you're managing projects. So you've got some rehabs that are in the process of being renovated. You've got some up for sale that are being marketed to sell, closing, marketing, selling, closing those. And then this is the one that most people don't spend enough time doing or don't focus on enough, but that's raising capital. You have to constantly raise capital to fund your projects. So what that means is it means you need about 9 projects in the work at different stages. So if you're finding and buying 3, you're managing roughly 3, being renovated, and then you've got 3 up for sale that you're closing. 3 closing. Remember, you want to close on 3 per month. So it takes about 9 to 10, let's call it, deals in your pipeline at these various stages to be doing this $1 million pipeline, because you'll be closing 3 a month. On average, if you're netting a $28,000, that should be a reasonable profit flipping houses. $28,000 on a deal should be more on some cases, but just as a rough estimate, that's a $1 million pipeline. Isn't that exciting? When you break it down that way, it's really not that intimidating. And this is something that you can do, but you've got to manage that pipeline. Here's what I see. I see a lot of investors that spend 100% of their energy on the finding stage, then they find a deal, they buy that deal, then they spend all of their energy on the managing, getting the renovations done, managing contractors, or even worse, swinging the hammer, they're out there doing the project themselves. After the rehab's done, then they focus all their energy on getting it sold, and then very little time on raising capital, if at all. And then when that's done, then they start all over again with finding. Now, I hope you can see the problem with that. The problem with that is if it takes 4 to 6 months to do a project, a fix and flip project, you're only going to do maybe 2 or 3 deals a year. You're not going to be building that $1 million pipeline. The way to build it is you focus on all these areas simultaneously. My goal is not a day goes by where I'm not doing these, where I'm not finding while managing, while marketing, while also raising capital. So that's it. This is Jerry Norton. Go build a $1 million pipeline flipping houses.